Hello guys, gals and gamers, and welcome back to another video. My name is Miko, I am a game designer, and here in Community Service we do videos about ritualistic sacrifices for the bacon god. Or was it like talking about video games online? I don't remember which one, they are very similar. It was either one. Anyway, before we begin, I would like to remind you guys to please like and subscribe. Also, if I would really appreciate it if you would just leave a comment down below. I want to start a discussion with my videos, so I would really appreciate all of the comments I get. And if you want to be extra nice, you can always share this video around with your friends, family, and enemies. Especially enemies, torture them with these videos, they will be scared of you. So yes, recently Genshin Impact turned 1 years old. I have been playing that since the beginning actually. And usually this is like a time for big celebrations, but somehow the online fanbase has managed to find itself in a situation where it is in complete shambles and in a state of chaos. So how did MiHoYo, the company behind Genshin Impact, manage to screw this up so badly? Well, that's what we are going to talk about today. But before, I think it would be rather good if I talk to you guys about how games usually handle these special limited time events in general. I think it would be great if we learned a bit more about how these limited time events are usually designed in games in any sort of game. So then we can really pinpoint the mistakes that were made and hopefully learn from them. So basically, what are special limited time events even about? Well, basically, they are, as the name tells you, they are events that happen in the game for only a limited amount of time. Some of these can be reoccurring, just like some raid hours in Pokemon Go, for example, where you have this Pokemon spawning all over the cities, and then you can do a raid and batter that Pokemon together. But for only 1 hour. Ooh, that is something. And then you can have some one-time events, just like the other events Genshin Impact has recently had. For example, the fishing event. You fish a lot and then you get all sorts of reward. Usually these special limited time events are free, but in the case of at least Pokemon Go, some events can also be paid, but mostly I think companies and people just generally prefer free updates and free events. So what is their purpose? Their purpose is basically to keep player retention strong. So players will keep playing that game of yours and keep enjoying it, keeping the gameplay fresh and varied, offering the new challenges and new short-term goals to achieve, and reasons also to return to the game if you have been away for a few weeks, but then you see, oh, this cool event is going on, I might check it out. But usually it's just player retention. There are different kinds of special events. There are anniversary events, just like the one that we are going to be talking about. Of course, happen only once a year. And there can be like holiday events, for example, a winter themed event around Christmas. Very good choice. Or maybe there's just a crossover event between you and another game that you might also be making, but might also have a really good business deal with, so you can cross promote each other. But yeah, usually if there's any bigger kind of event, you can go all out with the stuff you do. But again, these might vary in size a lot. There are small events, bigger events, really special events, and then there can also be like seasonal events. Again, Pokemon Go or some multiplayer games might have, like Fortnite has seasonal events, and in this season it will be all about UFOs, and in this seasons it will be all about. I haven't played Fortnite, so I don't know much more about that one, but yeah, you get it. You get it, hopefully. So, a few things you need to consider while designing and planning these limited time events. Well, first of these is timing. And the first question about timing is how long should these limited time events be? I would say like frequently recurring events should only last like a few hours, maybe. Like if there's something that happens once a month or once a week, have a few hours to it, but nothing that much more. Then one time or annual events should be from a few days to maybe a bit over a week. Yeah. And then big events should usually be like more than a week, maybe around 2 or 3. Depends on what you're really doing that event, so the player can get everything done in that event quickly and enjoy the event fully with the given amount of time. And then seasonal events from month to a few months depends on how your gameplay loop kind of works. And another thing about timing is how often should you even have these events? Um, I would say a few times a month, especially with the one time events. And of course, leave a few days between each one time event. And then some events can overlap. If you're having a one time event and then there's a weekly event coming up, yeah, you can of course have that, but not too many events at the same time because that might overwhelm the player, and events also, if they happen too much, they will stop feeling special. So yeah. And the bigger thing, at least for the players, to think about is rewards. Oh, I'm getting some special stuff. That is cool. But first of all, how to get the rewards? They can be unlocked with some special challenges, or then you can also do like playing normally, maybe having a log in event. Like you get special stuff from just logging in and just playing normally. And what to give? First of all, boost. This is especially good for playing normally, so play around this time or a few hours and you will get double the money that you usually get. Ooh, come and play at this time and you will get that cool reward. Then there's also like useful items you can use in the game and of course currencies. And you should really learn what your player likes the most. What kind of items do they need? What kind of currencies do they like using? What kind of boosts are actually useful for the player? Do they prefer like weapons or characters in the game? Do they prefer doing one task over another? What do they like? And of course, when you are deciding rewards, it is very efficient and important to include like limited time of items or rare items. Those always attract a lot of players. But also remember to keep rare stuff rare. So if you do a limited time item that the players really want, don't bring it back like in 2 weeks because then it just doesn't feel special, and every game has their economy. If you just give out randomly rare stuff, that will destroy the value of that item. And of course, like bigger the event, more meaningful rewards. If you are having a small event, give less rewards. If you're having a big cool celebration, then give lots of goodies. So now finally getting on to what has recently happened with Genshin Impact. And yeah, with all of this knowledge that we have gotten, let's finally get into Genshin Impact and what really happened that drove the fandom just crazy. So, briefly, the first anniversary gave us many types of events. First one of these was just being a simple logging bonus that gives in a week in total 10 tries on the game's gacha mechanic. So 10 pulls on the slot machine. Okay, cool stuff. Could be worse, but yeah, that's all right. And the second one being a cool festival held in one of the regions in the game, which includes like a few hour long story quest, which gives a bit of lore and lots of character interactions, which is always cool. And then it also included an exploration challenge, which is a very good idea for this open world game that Genshin Impact is. And then also a few quests with a new minigame. And as a reward for these, you get primo gems, which are the currency you get. You can buy the pulls on the slot machine with. You get an okay amount, but you also get a limited time weapon, which was all right. The other events that we had were smaller web events, so you would have to log into the website and do those events there, and then you would get the reward via in-game mail, and then also a few competitions and raffles. So that all sounds pretty good so far. So what went wrong? Well, the player base, at least online, felt very underwhelmed by these rewards. The logging bonus felt a bit cheap, and it's not really a celebratory thing, to be honest. Just to throw in a quick logging bonus, give 10 pulls, which is not good. And in Genshin Impact, it's just like you get a rare 5-star character in about 90 pulls. The base rate is, I think, about 0.5%, so 1 in 200. But if you get 90 balls without getting a 5-star item, that is guaranteed for you. And then of that 0.5%, half of that will be the guaranteed, the highlighted character, and then the other half will be one or five other characters. So you might not even get the character you want, even if you get a rare 5-star character. And so it might take even like 180 pulls to get the character that you really want. And that is about $500 from my understanding, depending, of course, which bundle you buy from the indie game store, but it's still quite expensive. But yeah, it's gacha game. And the second event was also pretty, it was good. I liked it. But the rewards were like kinda nothing out of the ordinary. And even the weapon, which is good and cool and funny, and I do like using it, people do really like characters better because characters are kind of irreplaceable, but weapons, you can deal with a bit worse weapon. It doesn't mind. The character is fun to use and you can still do a lot of damage. It doesn't matter whether you do like 152% damage or 150% damage. So if it's a bit better, it's alright, but people like characters because the gacha revolves around getting cool characters. And also the web event raffle, really likely that really unlikely that you will not get the actual cool rewards out of it. So it also feels a bit scummy. Why not just give everyone the cool thing? And yeah, it didn't feel that great. It didn't feel that celebratory. People were not celebrating. There was a cool festival, but we have had cool festivals before. And one of these was the Lantern Rite event, and that was for the Chinese New Year. But you know, the Western audience, the game, of course, has like a big Chinese audience. The game is made in China, but the Western audience doesn't really understand the hype about Chinese New Year and just think it's a cool, bigger event for some reason. But yay, cool. And in that Lantern Rite event, they actually gave out a free 4-star character, not as rare as a 5-star character, but still, hey, you got a free character. That is cool. But here, you didn't get anything. So yes, now for the consequences of this kind of bad event. The disappointment led to the game getting review bombed, and even to the point that other games were getting review bombed, like Honkai Impact, the another game by MiHoYo. But when you are giving a bad review to Google Classroom about being disappointed against an Impact, that's telling me that you probably don't know how reviews are supposed to work or review bombing is supposed to work. Like, don't do that. That is just dumb. But yeah, MiHoYo kind of caved in a bit and sent a few extra rewards in the in-game mail. But yeah, the atmosphere in the community still isn't that great. But yeah, I think after having covered all of this, I think Genshin altogether is still a healthy game. And it's good to remember that all of this negativity and all of these bad review bombings and all of the yelling around about the bad anniversary rewards are done by a vocal minority. Of course, it's good to know that if your fan base seems toxic, it will drive other people away as well. But I think things will still calm down in a few weeks, and this has kind of been the biggest crisis in the game so far, which is at the same time kind of impressive because it has been out for a year and it is a gotcha game. So I think they will manage through it. There's no harm done to the game, but be a bit nicer to the community and give just a bit more in the future, and this should all be done with that. But yeah, as all of this points out, limited time events are very useful, but also can be really important. So please pay mind to the events that you put out. Think about stuff long term. Every event you do kind of affects the next one. If you suddenly start giving out more rewards, then people will start expecting more rewards. And if you are doing a bigger event, don't be too stingy. And for people making games, just look at all of the data you're getting. Look at all of the data you're getting is the best advice I can get. If you don't know about the data, hire a data analyst. Know your fans, know your vocal fan base, how they behave, what they like about the game, and do just cool stuff. Keep doing at it, and this was just a bit of a mistake, but I'm still looking forward to playing the game more and looking forward what kind of stuff you will figure out next year, because I will hope that next year you will have something better to avoid this kind of backlash. But yeah, that is kind of all I had to talk about this topic. I hope you learned something from either Genshin Impact or just how these events are designed altogether. And what do you think? Do you think the rewards were good? Would you have you wanted something else? Let me know down in the comments, and just thank you for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. I will see you